you hear that phrase, I'm just doing me right now. I don't need nobody. I got me, myself, and I, right?
Yeah.
Solo ride until I die, because I got me for life.
Don't sing.
Ooh, it's just me. Sorry.
Yo.
Are you gonna say it?
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to In the Fire podcast. Hey, you guys, whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube, make sure you guys are subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff, rating us on Spotify, iTunes. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Welcome back to episode 11. I'm getting good at that. Yes, I am. I'm getting good at it.
You do it fine. I don't know. We could ask them, like, they leave some comments, say how they feel about the intro.
They like it. They want to get right to the point. They don't want to hear all that gibberish.
I guess you're right. So, how you been, Dan? How you been? How's everything?
I'm chilling, yo.
You been chilling?
It's a good
You
week.
been chilling?
Yeah, I failed my exam. I got a 42.
How?
I studied really hard.
Mm-hmm. 6 hours, right?
I got there and I'm flipping through the pages and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
That doesn't make sense.
The class average was a 40.
Yeah, you made that 40. You made that class average of 40.
The kid next to me had a 16. The kid next to me had a 16.
Bro, I bet you if you left that class, it would have been like 80 or something, dog.
I had a better than the average.
Dude, you told me that you studied for 6 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. You were in your room for 6 hours of your life and you got a 42?
Yeah, you know how it is.
Who knows how it is? Who knows how it is, dog?
Bro, it's hard.
Did you not use a study guide?
I did.
How?
Do you go to college? All right then. College is tough, bro. It's tough.
You need to watch something. We have an episode for that? For being mean?
For being mean, watch what you say. Coming soon.
I don't know, whatever.
Alrighty.
Mr. 42. You watch Super Bowl?
I did watch it. I almost fell asleep. I don't like football.
Me neither. But it was kind of cool. I like the halftime show.
Halftime show was good.
And the ads, I got mad because I forgot about it. And the only thing that's cool about it is the ads. So I was like, I missed like half of the ads. And I watched the rest of the game. But
okay.
It was whatever.
Yeah. How was your week?
It was okay.
Only because I have to ask. All right, let's get into it. This episode is about trust. Such a good episode.
Trust. Yeah. Danny. Okay, first off, when I was preparing for this episode, right, I just realized that when I think about the word trust, I feel like I don't have a clear picture in my head. You know, like if you hear the word trust, some people might have like an instant image in their head or something, or like maybe an experience that shows them what trust is, or maybe somebody like broke their trust or something, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but for me, when I think about the word trust, I don't really think about anything.
That's so weird.
Like if you tell me what love is, I'm like, yeah, I know what love is. I think about the gospel. I think about what love is in Corinthians, how to love somebody. I get that.
Okay.
But with trust, it's like I really had to figure out what it really means completely, you know? Like really getting a clear picture, a clear image of what I can think about that, you know?
This episode's for you then.
Yeah.
For me, the second I heard about trust, it's like I envisioned everything.
Yeah.
Because for me, trust is the foundation of every relationship.
Of course. And so I guess I want to ask you, so we like paint the picture for the listeners. Danny, why is trust important?
Trust is the building block of a relationship. But not any building block, one that you could put on anywhere in the tower.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the foundation. Without trust, there is no relationship.
Damn.
If you don't have trust, there will be no relationship. If I don't trust you, we're not friends.
Yeah.
How could we be friends if I don't trust you?
Yeah.
What kind of friendship has no trust? Right? So if you don't have trust, there won't be a relationship. So that I feel like trust is so huge. It's like the foundation of a relationship.
Yeah. And I remember reading that like trust is inseparable from love. Right? Like if you want to love somebody, and we talked about love already, episode whatever. We talked about what love is already. If you guys don't know, go back to that. But it said that love is inseparable from trust. You know, if I want to actually like love you, you know, and not like if I want to love you, you know, and
you said that.
Stop.
So warm,
and choose to love you, like, you know, that was a choice. I have to also trust you with that, right? Like you said, trust is a building block. It's like a foundation, a pillar to a relationship. Without trust, you know, what kind of friendship we have, right? So I want to talk about this one thing, right? I watched Far From Home, right? Which is the Spider-Man movie before No Way Home. I watched that with you guys, and I remember like I forgot what happened before No Way Home. Like I'm not really caught up with movies, right? I only go movies like once in a blue moon. That's probably because you guys go with me. I go with you guys, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching Far From Home, and MJ or Zendaya, she said something that was like mad deep for absolutely no reason, dog. I'm trying to watch Spider-Man kick butt, and like she just says some deep like podcast stuff. Like, yo, you know what?
Yo, podcast stuff.
Thanks, Zendaya. We got
to get her on the podcast.
For real. So
everybody start adding her on the comments.
Add Zendaya. But yeah, like she said this one phrase in the Far From Home movie. She said, if you expect disappointment, you can never really be disappointed. And I heard that and I was like, damn, dude. At first I was like, that's mad deep, dog.
It is deep.
I'm trying to watch Spider-Man do some cool stuff. Like, I'm trying to get my feels right now. But she said that and I was like, damn. Like, yeah, I know it's like an actor. She's an actress or whatever. She plays MJ. But like that's a reality for some people.
Mm-hmm. Some? A lot.
Most people actually,
like a lot.
Like it's like more common than we think.
Yeah.
For a person to tell you something and for you just to really not get excited for anything, right? It's like when you have that mindset of whatever you tell me, I'm not gonna really get happy for it.
Wow.
You have no expectancy of like anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, Danny, I'm gonna go get you this one thing. I'm gonna get you this nice present for your birthday.
No, you're not.
Like what? And then what if I give it to you on your birthday and you're like, oh, thanks.
That's surprising. I didn't expect
Yes, didn't expect it, but you weren't like, hey, I'm gonna get something.
Yeah.
You know, you're just not expecting anything, right?
And why do they feel like that? What leads to them feeling that way and having that like barrier up?
It's just because of past experiences, you know? It's through those experiences of somebody telling you something and then something else happening for you to build that barrier.
Wow.
For you to build that mindset. It's through experiences. It's through the things you went through, right?
Yeah.
And not only it being deep, I just felt like I could connect with it on a personal level because I felt that before, you know, and not so much now, thank God, right? Because like, you know, but like I've experienced that where I was told like one thing, like, yeah, I'm gonna get you this, or I'm gonna be there, and then the time comes.
You
and
know
it doesn't
those
happen.
You know those movie scenes where like it's the kid's basketball game and all he wants is his dad to be in the audience.
Yeah.
And he just keeps playing the game, but he keeps looking at the audience to see if his dad's there, and he's not.
Yeah.
Because his dad said, I'll be there. Doesn't show up.
Or in Gravity Falls. Yo, if anybody watches
Gravity Falls,
no. Gravity Falls is like seriously. I don't know why it's so with my taste in TV shows, but Gravity Falls is really cool. That's a really awesome TV show. But there's a scene where I forgot his name. Oh my gosh, the big tubby guy. Like he had his dad would always send him postcards. Like, oh, I can't be there this time. I can't be for your birthday. I can't be there at your birthday this year, but next year. But he kept on sending like postcards of I can't be there today, champ, but next year. And so what happened? His name was Seuss. Seuss eventually just like, he's not coming.
Yeah.
And it's a mental adaptation. Like, why would you keep on being excited if it never happens?
Right.
Right? Like we adapt. Your body adapts, and so does your mind. So your mind's gonna adapt to that expectation of it's not gonna happen.
Wow.
And like I said before, this is a personal thing because that's what happens. I mentally adapted to like, and that stuff hurts. First off, like,
oh yeah,
the more important thing, it hurts.
Yeah,
it's not just like whatever. Like no, in those moments where your trust is broken, like when you trusted in that person to do that for you, or for that person to come and they didn't, you feel hurt. And I remember I felt like super like sad because I was expecting it and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So that's why like I wanted to ask you about that, Danny. That mindset of like expecting disappointment. Is that how God wants us to live?
Oh no, definitely not. What happens when people do that? When your trust is beat up, and I always use that kind of metaphor as beat up because that's just what it feels like. Because it's not like I mean, there's probably some people where like one time they got hurt and they might have put that barrier up.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like a beating because it's like so many times that it happens, you're like you just kind of throw the towel. You're like whatever, man, and you put that barrier up. But what happens when you put that barrier up is you don't see the good. You don't see the bad. You don't see anything.
Dang.
Because you just put that barrier up and now like you're blocking out the good, you're blocking out the bad, you're blocking out the people that will actually love you just so you can block out the people that might not love you.
That's
now,
terrible.
that barrier is dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't experience anything. You're just living in a box, in a bubble now.
Damn. Yeah. And it's crazy because it's like your trust is being sucked up out of you, right? It's like a gas tank. You're burning up all that trust out, and then eventually like you have no trust to give because it's been sucked out of you because the people have taken your trust out. Where you say I can't trust anybody now. Yeah. Nobody, like, everybody's against me, right? And people have that mindset of like I'm a lone wolf. I do things for myself because I can't. Everybody that's here is here to hurt me, and that's such a terrible mindset, right? Like, what is the first thing that God said wasn't good?
Are you testing me right now?
Yeah.
The first thing God said.
Come on, bro.
I know it.
Okay.
For man not to be alone.
Exactly. That's the first. Everything he said. This is good. The stars, the earth, the water, good. But he said the first thing that wasn't good was that man should be alone. Don't think that like you can go through your life with this mindset of like I can do this by myself. I don't need nobody. I'm a lone wolf. Everybody's here to hurt me.
I know so many people like that, man.
Like I'm like you hear that phrase. I'm just doing me right now. I don't need nobody. I got me, myself, and I. Right.
Yeah.
Solo ride until I die, cause I got me for life.
Don't sing.
It's just me. Sorry. But like that's a real mindset, and like no, God does not want you to live like that.
Definitely not.
Well, did I sing that good? That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded beautiful, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So
I've been really trying my best to sing.
I've been really trying my best to speak nicely, not mean, like not truth. I've been trying to just lie to you and tell you that you sound really good, but
that's okay. It's kind of messed up. But no, like God does not want you to live like that.
No.
Like and the thing is, like we understand,
Yeah.
A person could go up to us and say like, I act this way for a reason, right? It's like I do these things because of my past experiences.
Yeah, we validate that.
Yeah, we're not saying. Like, and what do we say? Yeah, we understand. But then what do we say to that, right? And for that, I would say two things, right? And the first thing being like, don't harbor bitterness, right? What do we always talk about on last podcast, like last episode? You can't let that bitterness stay, right? People do you wrong. People, like, there's going to be things that people do to you that is bad.
Always, right?
Like Jesus said, like things that will like tamper you or like things that will hurt you will always be there, right? Mm-hmm. Things that will like tempt you will always be there. Yeah. That evil will always be there, right? But we don't want you guys to impact you more than it already has, right? They already impacted you, and we understand that. But it's choosing whether you want it to continue to hurt you. Wow. When you want it to continue to like destroy things, right?
And we talked about that last episode with the forgive episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the first thing being don't harbor bitterness. The second thing being, don't let what that person did impede on your future relationships. Like because that person met you, like not everybody's the same. Right? Like, so what's that Bad Bunny verse? Like
Bad Bunny, man's quoting everything.
No. I just thought about it. It was like
the Bible right now.
It was like you say that all hombres solo iguales, like all guys are the same.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
No, definitely
not everybody's like that. And that's the thing. You like no. You have to understand. Like there's people that are different. Not everybody's is coming for your neck.
Right.
Right. Somebody might have shown you that. But that's not how everything is. And what you said, if you put that barrier up to keep you safe, you're never going to know what like actual true relationships are.
I found a quote that goes along with everything that you're saying. Don't let the one who didn't love you keep you from the one who will. And that's what you're saying. It's like, okay, one person hurt me. 10 people hurt me. 9 out of the 10 people hurt me. Mm-hmm. But now because you put that barrier up, you're not only blocking the people that might hurt you again, but you're also blocking the person that will actually love you.
Wow.
And will actually have that trust bond with you and actually help you grow. But because you put that barrier up and you have no trust in other people and you're that lone wolf that just goes by yourself with no community around you.
And like
you're not experiencing
life. Yeah. It's like there's 7 billion people on this earth for a reason, bro. We're not meant to do this alone. No. God wants us to be in community, right? The church is always about unity, to be with people, right? Jesus wasn't alone. Yeah. He went to be alone, which is good. We always need our alone time. Right. But he was with 12 disciples, right? He had people around him all the time. He had close friends. He had people that were with him for a while, but then they left. Yeah. Like he wasn't even alone, right? And I have this story, wasn't really a story, it's like a joke. So my friend that I knew since I came to New Jersey, 'cause I used to live in New York, he was in my room, right? And I've known this guy forever. He's like he knows everything about me, right? He was in my room, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I was walking out of my room. I was about to close the door, and before I closed the door, I was like, "Don't steal anything." And then I closed the door, right? And that's a simple joke, but as I was thinking about it, I was like, "Wait, What if I actually didn't trust him? What if I was like in my head, he's gonna steal something?
He wouldn't be in your house.
Yeah,
bro.
first off, I probably wouldn't let him in my room.
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, go wait outside. and I'd act a certain way with him, right? I always have that like fear of he's probably gonna like steal something from my house, so I don't want to let him in, right? And so that thought
That's
is always
actually
in my head.
crazy. Every time you let somebody into your house, like it's just automatic trust.
Yeah, no, definitely.
How do I know that my best friend's not gonna steal something every time he walks into my house?
Exactly.
It doesn't even process through my head just because I have that automatic trust with him. But at any point, like, or every time he comes, he could just steal some like little thing that I don't even notice. He walks home. One night I'll go to his house and he'll have just a bunch of my stuff. Like, trust is such a like natural thing that comes when you let somebody into your house. And that metaphor of like that you're talking about with your life is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like just imagine if I actually didn't trust him. Like
it's just out like it's freezing outside. It's like, yo, stay outside, yo.
And the thing is, yeah, I'm doing that, but eventually he's gonna catch on to that.
Oh my gosh!
Like people, you can catch on when somebody doesn't trust you.
Oh, right
by the way
away.
they talk
Pretty
to you.
fast,
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
yeah.
And what happens with that? Like, let's say if it's one of your friends, but you still don't trust them. You can hurt people by the way you act by not trusting them. You hurt people by doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Like eventually, that my friend's gonna come up to me and say, "Dude, do you not trust me? Like, do you not think I'm trustworthy? Like, we're friends."
Yeah.
And why do people feel so hurt when they don't trust them? It's because what you said before, trust is a foundational thing. It's a building block.
Yeah.
You have to have trust in your friendship. So if I'm not trusting you and you're seeing that, dude, you're going to be heartbroken. You're going to be like, dude, what the heck is wrong with you? Why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
I'm not a thief.
What about for the people that like actually did something to them? But like, so I hurt you in a way. I maybe lied to you. I just broke your trust. Obviously, you have that like resentment towards me where it's like, I don't want to trust you. And that barrier, maybe just towards me and not everybody else. How do we go about that?
I think it's a double thing. It's like both foot forward with that, right? Because a person could always forgive, but if you're always doing the same thing, if I have to forgive you for the same thing again and again and again, what forgiveness is there in my heart anymore? And first of all, like, how am I showing you any teaching? How am I being a good friend? Like, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. How am I sharpening you there? Yeah. If anything, I don't even want to be your friend no more.
Right.
I'm forgiving you for the same thing. And the thing is, people do that. Why? Because they love a person, right? If a person loves somebody so much, right, love is going to bear all things.
Right.
So when you're really in love with somebody, like, you're going to forgive them all the time. Like, whatever you do, it's fine. I forgive you because I love you, right? Yeah. But, like, if you're just allowing that person to keep on doing that to you, like, what's going to change there? Yeah. There's going to be no change. And the thing that you want to change, like what the person is doing, how are you going to change that person? Or how are you going to at least like allow it to happen?
Right. And that goes back to the forgiveness episode. If I don't forgive you, not only am I holding on to that, but you're making them hold on to that too. Yeah. And it doesn't let them progress. It doesn't let them, get that forgiveness for what they did. And it could have been one time, like, and everybody makes mistakes. Yes. Everybody will fail you. Yeah. That person that you think, that person will never fail me, they will. Yep. What's the Bible verse that says trust in man and something?
Oh man, I don't know, dude. Like to trust in a man is a fool or something?
Something like that. I don't know. I might put it up on the screen. We'll see.
This guy, yeah, you're probably fine.
But anyway, it says somewhere like you don't trust man. And I'm not talking about man, gender-wise. I'm talking about everybody. You just everybody will hurt you eventually.
Yes. That's true.
But that forgiveness is in that love that you're talking about. That's the next step.
Exactly.
But if you don't trust him, and that's something that I wrote down and I wanted to say. Halvesies, like trust halfway, does not work. That doesn't exist. How do you trust someone half?
Like you only trust them with some stuff.
Yeah, like
it's either all or nothing.
Exactly. And that's the thing, like that you're talking about hurting other people in that way, and it will. And maybe you're wondering, how come my friendships aren't working? How come my relationships aren't working? Could it be trust? Yeah. Could trust be a factor that you're not letting them trust you or you trust them? English? If there's no trust, there is no relationship. Yes. And if trust is mutual, if I don't trust you, why would you trust me? And something crazy that I wrote down for like somebody that is trustworthy, right? Is someone who expresses their feelings honestly. If I express my feelings to you honestly, I'm opening up to you is because I trust you. I don't go around telling the whole world, I'm depressed, yo, woo, I'm depressed. Obviously not.
No, of course not.
I'm only gonna go up to you or my best friend or whoever it is that I trust, and I'm gonna tell you about it and open up to you. But if you never open up to me,
yeah,
I'm gonna be like, this kid doesn't trust me.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to tell me.
Yeah, and that's one a really cool part. Like what I kind of got out of that is like trust creates safe spaces. If you can trust somebody, that's like a safe space in your head.
Yep.
Now, when you think about that person, you're like, I know that person is like safe for me. Yep. I can go and tell that person something because I can trust them.
And what happens when you open up to somebody? 9 out of 10 times they open up back because that trust was built right there in that moment. Yeah. But if you're doing halvesies where it's like, oh, I'm good. It's like, how are you? I'm good. If you don't tell them like I'm upset, that trust kind of thing, like there won't be a growth in that relationship. Yeah. And it'll most likely end because without trust, without that foundation, there's no friendship. Yeah.
It's like that verse, like no one puts a lamp under a bowl. Yeah. Right? When you're that lamp, that light, and you share that light with people, and in this light, in this like analogy, it would be trust. If you're sharing that light with people, they're gonna get that light. Yeah. They're gonna get that trust. And so now you're building trust, right? Now you have that trust built up with you, and you show people what trust is, then that person knows what trust is. They're gonna show their friends that. It's gonna be an ongoing cycle of what trust actually means to a person and how important it is, right? One point I wanted to ask too, like, okay, so we get it, right? If something happened in your past, then don't let it harbor, right? Don't harbor bitterness, and don't let it impede future relationships, right? We get that. But what's the second part to it? The second part is asking, are you trustworthy, right? Because we always tend to look out. We're always looking outward at people, saying, I can't trust you because you do this. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. Yeah, we get that. But what's up with you though? Like we're so fast to point fingers.
What's up with you though?
Like what's up with you, bro? What's up with you, bro? Like, are you trustworthy? Are you trustworthy? Are you trustworthy? Like you gotta understand that. Like again, like what I said, we're so quick to point fingers, but when do you look in the mirror and say, man, am I actually a person who can even say something about this? Wow. Can I go and talk? Right? Like, can I say that you're not trustworthy? And the guy's like, you're calling me untrustworthy? Do you know who you are, dog?
Hey, like
it's a reflection thing. Dude, am I trustworthy? Like that's so important. You have to understand, like if I don't have integrity, then like why am I even saying anything? Right? You have to ask the questions like am I hiding something? Right. Am I doing something that if it was revealed, it would break a friendship?
That's a crazy one.
Right? Like
that's a crazy one.
Am I lying to somebody? Am I a liar? Yeah. Right? You got to ask yourself these questions, because if you like saying yes to all these questions, why are you even talking, bro? Right? Like, why are you talking, dog? It's about integrity. It's not even a question of are you trustworthy. It's a question of do you have integrity? Yeah. Right? And what's integrity? It's being the same person all the time. Yeah. It's saying one thing and then doing the same thing. That's what trust is. And that's what having integrity is. So always reflect on that. Always reflect on being trustworthy.
Yeah. And something I wrote down too was like somebody's actions precede their words. We've talked a lot about how words are just words. I can say, I've changed. I'll do better. I'll do this. I'll go. If your actions don't follow what you're saying, then they have no value.
Yes.
They have no value.
Yes.
So somebody that is trustworthy is somebody's actions that precede their words. If I say, I'm changed, show me. Show me what that means. And something that I wrote down was... test before you can trust again. And at first I reread that and I was like, it sounds harsh.
It sounds a little like mean, honestly.
Yeah, it's like
a little fake.
Like you did this to me. Now I gotta make sure I could trust you again, test you. Like I'm just planning a whole scheme and a whole trap to see if I... No, like that's not what it's saying. What it's saying is like, let's see if your actions actually follow your words, right? And that's just being wise. If you just take people's words and you just implement them in your brain and you're like, they're definitely gonna do that. Words have no value until they actually do it. That's what it means by test, is like make sure their actions actually precede their words. Yeah. Definitely. If they say, I'm changed, I'm going to do better, I'm not lying to you, all this stuff, let's see it then. I want to see it in action, and that's when that trust starts to happen again.
Yes, definitely. And a verse I wanted to share, like just pertaining to what I said about how a person might like point fingers but actually have like their own internal like evil, right? Yeah. Is a verse that says, Proverbs 28:1, the wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as lions. Right? And that image that's like being painted in that verse, like the wicked flee when no one pursues, a person who is running, like a person who does bad things, will never have a peaceful mind or a mind that's confident.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're like, I might be found out soon.
Yeah, you're always hiding.
You're always
stuff.
hiding, and like a person who is running without like anybody following you, like what is that? It's just like a person that's like, and like it's like I was like, why are you running? There's nobody behind you. That's the mindset you get with not having integrity, with yourself not being trustworthy, right? So you're always waking up with like this mindset of, maybe today I might be found out. Maybe today my whole life will be turned over just because I did that one thing.
Life is so short, and it's crazy to me that people are living that way.
Yeah. And it's real thing. It's like a real thought that somebody wakes up with that fear, that fleeing when no one pursues. Yeah. That mindset of I'm never gonna have peace.
Something, and like I grew up this way with my mom, and like I love her for this because it's like I've always felt so free, and I've lived up to my morals, and I do good, right? I mean, not always. I'm
Mr. Boso guy over here.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a teenager. Things happen, right?
Yeah,
but. What she said to me always was, I'd be like, yo, Ma, it'd be like 10, 11. I'd be like, Mom, I'm going out. Okay. And I'm like, and I was like, how come? Like, because I've seen other parents and they're super strict, and it's like 6 p.m. Like, you need to be in bed. It's like, I don't want you to go out. It's like, what? Like, what? We're only going to be in my own house in the basement. They're like, no, I don't care. So my mom, it's like, she always told me, she said, trust. I trust you. The day you break that trust, you're not leaving the house anymore.
Wow.
She said, you can go out with whoever you want, whenever you want, with whoever, whatever, right? As long as you tell me where you are, we're good.
Wow.
If I catch you lying to me, if I told her, Mom, I'm going to church with Lewis at 1 a.m, she'll believe me.
Wow. That's awesome.
Because that trust is there.
Wow.
The day I break that trust, that's when things go south.
Wow.
But I've always felt comfortable. I've always felt really comfortable with her to be able to go out with friends, whatever it is, because I know my own morals. And there's times where like I've been tempted to do some other stuff that my other friends are doing, and then I'm like, even the slightest chance, even the 1% chance that she finds out, my freedom is gone.
Wow, that's insane.
That trust is broken and that freedom is gone, and I love my freedom. Is this one tiny moment, this one temptation, really worth all that? Probably not.
No.
So that trust that I had with her is so awesome.
Yeah, and one thing I got from that is like, dude, trust is freedom.
Yeah.
How much freedom does trust bring?
Yeah.
First of all, it brings freedom in your mind, so you're not fleeing when no one's pursuing. You're not running away when nobody's following you, right? You're living. It's like the opposite of that verse says that you'll be as like the righteous are as confident as lions or as bold as lions. Lions they stand back to nobody. Lions like walk and they're like, who's gonna touch me? Right? Like that's how bold a person can be, but they can't be like that when they have that mindset of like that has no integrity, right? And so that trust brings freedom to relationships and to yourself. Yeah. And what happens when a person has a really strict parents? They want to do bad things. Yeah. They want to sneak out. They want to like sneak out at 1 a.m. because their parents aren't letting them go out at 6 p.m.
People always burst when they get to college. Like that's when they go crazy. Yeah.
And so what happens that lack of trust actually breeds more bad things. It's like you don't trust, like your parents don't trust you and they don't show that they trust you, or you don't even sow trust into the relationship. If a parent's just like, nah, you're not going out. And the kid's like, but why? Like, you don't even know if I do, like, if I'm a good person or bad. And it's like, you have to sow that, like, trust. You have to, like, show them that you trust in them. Because, if you don't, then it's going to breed evil. It's going to breed, like, you wanting to do bad things because you're not showing that trust. Yeah. So trust should always be a big part of that. And I have a verse. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. Right? And it's like, when you search up the word trust in the Bible, it literally just says like trust in the Lord, trust in the Lord, trust in the Lord, right? Do not trust in man, like what you said before. Like you trust in people, like you can't really put your whole trust onto a person, right? You can't. There's I remember in the Bible, it said like Jesus, nobody had to tell Jesus how people were, meaning like nobody had to give testimony about people to Jesus because Jesus knew what was in their hearts. Jesus knew how people were. He knows that people lie, that people say one thing and do the other, that cause that mindset of if you expect disappointment, then you'll never be disappointed. Like Jesus knows how people are, so he knows that you can't put your trust in people. You can't. You can only put your trust in a person who always says what he does and does what he says, who never lies. Right? Like that verse I always share. God is not like a man that he should lie, or a man that he should change his mind. Does he do and not act? Right? I mean, does he say and not act? Right? He says stuff and then he does it. Yeah. Not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a man of their word.
Definitely
and
not.
God is a God of his word.
Yeah.
Right? So
Always.
he's
Always.
the only like really person that we can put our trust in that will never hurt us, right? Jeremiah 29:11, what does it say? I have plans to prosper you, not to harm you. And why does he say that? It's because he knows that people have plans in their head to hurt people.
Yeah.
And that people want to do things for their own gain. When God wants to do it for your gain, he wants to do it so you prosper. Right? That's why God is like the most trustworthy person that we have.
Yeah.
Right? And one thing I wanted to say, like to backtrack a bit, when you were talking about how people aren't perfect, I remember my friend like from church, she sent a picture to a group chat, and it was saying like, people aren't perfect. Stop trying to think that everybody is gonna do the good all the time.
Yeah.
Like maybe we should start putting a bit less like pressure on people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not expecting you to be perfect all the time, Danny.
Right.
And I know you aren't expecting me to be perfect all the time either. And like, that's fine.
Okay.
We're not perfect. We're not going to be like the most perfect person. We should strive to be better all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But if we mess up, there's always grace for that.
Yeah.
Right? How much grace are we shown that we should not show somebody grace? Right? So we have to learn to reflect that onto people. And if I do wrong, yeah, if I keep doing wrong, there's a problem. But if I do wrong and then say, I'm sorry, I want to try to get better, and you see that, then you know like there's an opportunity for growth and trust and a rebuilding of trust.
Rebuilding of trust. That's a great transition to what I wanted to talk about. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that like that trust has been broken, and it's been broken to a different level. And they might be saying like, how can I even try and forgive them, or how can I even try and get that trust back if I don't want to? I don't trust them. Right? But I do want to reconcile with them and all that. If you want to reconcile, then this is the part for you, right? First step, watch episode 10 of In the Fire and subscribe. No, but that episode is about trust, and forgiveness is the beginning of trust again.
Yes.
That is the beginning of the rebuilding of trust. If you don't forgive them, if you're still holding on to their past, if you're still holding on to what they did, there will be no trust. Trust is after the forgiveness. Forgive first. Second, trust takes time.
Yeah.
Trust takes time. If I just met you, why would I come up to you and tell you my whole life?
Let you into my house.
Let you into my house.
My room. You're going to steal some of my stuff?
Exactly. If we just met, trust takes time. And especially when you're rebuilding, trust takes even more time.
Yeah.
Because that trust was broken. Now we need to fix it. And you don't just fix it with some hot glue and where you're good to go. Like, it takes time.
Yeah.
You need to have patience. You need to work towards it. You need to trust them fully. Do all these other steps, and you'll get back to that full trust.
Yeah. And then when you get to that full trust, then you can experience life the way God wants you to experience it. Then you can have meaningful relationships. Then you can have meaningful experiences with people that you can trust and have freedom with safe people. Like, that's what trust leads to.
Take the barriers down.
Yeah.
And just like we talked about, those barriers need to come down. Even the little ones. You guys, I know you've been hurt. I know like that trust has been beaten up, but you need to take those barriers down so that you can experience real trust with real people.
Yeah.
Don't let those moments influence the rest of your life, because there's so much potential for your life, and God has so much for you. And with those barriers up, you won't achieve them. You won't get there. And also, I wrote down the best apology is changed behavior, which is what we talked about with the words. The best I'm sorry is not I'm sorry, but it's the actions that precede it.
Yeah.
And when they earn your trust, give them your full trust.
Yes.
Your full trust.
Yeah.
Or they will walk away, unfortunately.
Trust, like, why do you trust a chair that it holds you up? By putting weight on it, right?
Yeah.
So how are you going to build that trust back up? By putting weight on people's words. That when they tell you something, you believe it. Maybe not a lot, but the trust that you have in your heart, you put that out and you put your weight on that. So then you believe that person and they do what they say. Okay, cool. Now maybe you have more trust.
Yeah.
And that trust keeps on growing, right? So when you get to when somebody tell you something, you'll be as quick to sit on a chair and trust that it's going to hold you up the same way you'll trust somebody's words and put that weight on that, just like that, because you trust it fully. And it's, like I say, it's a process. It's restoring. It's rebuilding. And that's what trust is all about.
No, but just before we wrap up, I encourage you guys, if you guys made it to this part of the episode, really let those barriers down and start trusting. This is a call out for you.
Yeah.
We're calling this out because like trust is huge, and if you want those relationships to flourish, if you want your relationships to get better, if you want to just grow yourself, that trust is the foundation and it needs to be there.
Yes.
And I know you've been hurt. I know all that stuff has happened, but it's time for that wake up call, and it's time to say, all right, let's do this again.
Time to rebuild and time to restore.
Rebuild, time to restore.
And to reflect.
Yes.
If you are trustworthy yourself. Because that's
reflect.
It's always about integrity.
Yeah. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. Whether you guys are listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube, we appreciate you. We love you. And thank you, and we'll see you for the next episode. Peace out.
Peace.